Hi, everybody. It is Monday, January 30th, 2023. I'm Liz E11 from Athereal Energy and Healing Arts, also Athereal QHHT. If you're on this channel, please give it a thumbs up and like my video, share it with your friends, like my channel. It just helps me get the word out there. So I was gone last week. I was traveling and I wanted to hop on and do a video and just talk about a few things that have been going on. It's been an interesting January. I don't know how the rest of you guys have been feeling, but from what I hear from people I know and clients, like their dreams have been super strange and super prolific. And I wanted to talk about dreams. I know I've chatted about this before, but one thing that I was finding is I know a lot of people, and me included, have a very hard time meditating when I've done my QHHT sessions. I think the last one I told myself I needed to meditate 3 hours a day, which is quite a bit of time, even though I like to spend my alone time and I like silence. It is a long time to do that every single day. And one thing that my guides and one thing I channeled recently was that we can access theta, and which that's the same thing that you're accessing when you go into hypnosis. So we're in a theta state every day, usually before we go to sleep. And when we're waking up. And for me personally, the strongest time is when I'm waking up. My theta state for me before I go to sleep isn't very good because I have a hard time quieting my mind. So some of you might be like that. Your theta state's either going to be, it could be strong in when you're going to sleep and when you're waking up, just depending on how you work and how you run. For me, it's right in the morning. So a little trick just to help you manifest and help you kind of start out your day is that if you are kind of halfway awake when you're waking up, and you can even do this by like setting an alarm and then kind of snoozing it too, if that would work easier for you. So you can get into a meditative state super easy when you're waking up. And what I suggest is if you're actually in conscious, I mean, if you didn't have too crazy of a dream or that's not bothering you too much, sometimes our dreams can be super intense, so it's hard to kind of get out of the dream and get out of that parallel reality or dimension or whatever we're in. But if you do find, I'm kind of awake, I'm kind of still tired, that's really a good time to do self hypnosis. And I'm going to be doing some workshops and teaching more about how to do self hypnosis, and how to get to those states without, not, you don't always need a guide. I mean, it's good to have somebody guiding you, especially when you're new to accessing this information. But we're our own guides every night when we go to sleep. So anyone's capable of doing it. But what I suggest is when you're feeling that in between phase, when you're waking up, that's a good time to really put out what you want for the day, the week, the month, whatever it is. And whether you're starting a business or you're running a business and you want to, everybody wants abundance, it's good to kind of visualize that or just like feel that out. So if you're just feeling that, like, I need abundance, or I want this to happen, or I want to live in this kind of place, or whatever it is, I want my kids to have a good day, or I'm sending out, some kind of signal for somebody who's having surgery or something like that. It's a good time to put out that manifestation because you're not so into your reality yet. You're still in a theta state. So that can get programmed in the subconscious and go into the quantum world and manifest for you into reality because you have your conscious mind blocking you when you're awake, when you're in that full beta state. When you're fully awake, your conscious mind can block you from feeling these things. When you're in the theta state and you're just waking up from a dream, that's the easiest time to send your intentions for the day or send whatever you want. And like I said, you can, if you wake up and you're one of those people that can kind of go back to sleep, you could set an alarm and then snooze it and do that whole thing and then just, say your things, and you might fall asleep, which is kind of what happens to me, and then I wake up. but at least I got my, intentions out there for the day and for the week of how I wanted to start. So I just wanted to put that little exercise out there. Right now, I'm kind of working on putting together some Zoom past life regression, and some other things I'm working on is just helping people tap into their self hypnosis and their own healing themselves. So I'm going to have some more information on that, and that's something I've been working on putting together. Sessions have been going really well. People have been getting a lot of healing, so that's really nice. I kind of wrote a different induction that I've been using a little bit on people, and it's really been working great, and I've had a lot of success from it. So if that's something you're interested in, it's a rainbow chakra healing, and it's kind of done in a hypnotic state, and usually people are kind of in a light alpha trance. I wouldn't say they're in a theta state where they're not exactly in a dream state. So you're going to be fully aware, kind of like a guided meditation, but it's a little bit different. So another thing that I was picking up on that I think happens to all of us, and we don't really realize this, but we have certain days and certain months that are more aligned with our energy signature. So for me, looking back, if I look back at the patterns, because everything runs in cycles and patterns, January is an interesting month for me personally. It's a lot of growth, but can also be a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of I don't want to say chaos, but a lot of working through old patterns for me. And I noticed this going back, I think I went back 7 years to 2016, and I was just thinking about the things that happened to me and every January and how my Januaries kind of play out. And they're very intense. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's not always negative, but I would say they're very intense. There's a lot of this Aquarian energy of trying to do something new, the reinventing yourself. I posted some meme the other day, and it was oh, are you trying to reinvent yourself and come up with all these different ideas? And the Aquarian age is always about new ways of thinking and new ways of being and just living in that 5D state of mind. So I feel like I've really been feeling that this last month. So it's a lot of positive, but also some things to work through and work on. And I feel like January, that's not really my power month. I feel that we all have different months of the year that are really good for us to, they're just our months. For me, August, September, that's a really good month for me. Those 2 months are really good months for me. I have a lot of stuff happen, and a lot of positivity always happens for me. There's a lot of things that manifest and come into my reality during August and September. January, it's not a bad month for me, but it's also not my favorite month. It's a lot of growth. It's a lot of realizations. But for you, January might be your month because of your birthday, where your signs are astrologically. It depends on a lot of factors. But if you really start looking at what things have happened to me in what months, you can kind of get a pattern and kind of figure out oh, well, every January is when this happened or that happened. For instance, I've always gotten a lot of jobs, employment in January. And I used to throw a party every January-ish, and it was a really good party called Crystallize, and I feel that had to happen to kind of balance me out because I have so much new energy coming in January, so it's always a good month to kind of get that out. But for instance, March is not my month. I don't know if it's because it's, Pisces, Aries. I'm not sure if it's the time of the year or what it is exactly, but energetically, March just doesn't really vibe with me too much. So it's good for me to remember that. Don't make any heavy plans in March. I kind of see the patterns of my past Marches and what they've been. And it's just kind of don't make any super big plans. It's really not my month to shine. June's also kind of not really my month, so I feel once the summer kind of gets into late July, Leo season and Virgo. Those are two really like powerful months for me personally. So find out what your power months are. Just kind of look at your past years and say, what happened to me every February for the last 5 years, or even the last 2 years, 3 years, or even last year, and like compare it to now. How was it compared to last year? Was it a lot of the same? Were you working through the same issues? And you'll kind of start to figure out like what months are your power months, and those months you can really hone in on whatever it is you're trying to do, because you have that extra with you, just extra power, because your energy works better in certain months. Just like days of the week. I mean, I know everybody hates Mondays. I don't really hate Mondays exactly, but I would say definitely for me, like Friday, Thursday is definitely a good day for me energetically. I seem to really vibe with that day. Also, Saturday a lot. So, certain days of the week are going to work for you better energetically. It's good to see those patterns, but definitely the months for sure. Like, look back, see what you've done in certain months. Maybe, there's a month you always travel. Maybe it's because of your work or your job, or you just like to travel that month. Whatever it is, it's like we have patterns going, and it's good to recognize those patterns. So, yeah, that's all I have for today. So, I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm going to be working more on doing some kind of dream workshop, because I feel that's really needed right now. I have a lot of people, friends and clients, just talking about their dreams and how intense they are. So, I really want to delve into that, because I do feel that we can access a lot of information in these in between states. And yeah, so I want to work more on that and get a cool workshop for you guys to do. I'm thinking about trying to do some live, like Facebook or Instagram, probably on Facebook, so you guys can like ask me questions and we can do some live channeling or whatever it is that people want to know. So I don't know what time would be a good time for you. I'm on the East Coast, so I was thinking maybe like an 8 p.m. kind of thing. That might be too early for some people, but don't want to make it too late for people on the East Coast either. So yeah, I do have some availability for QHHT and for channeling. If you just want a channeling session, you have some questions, and you're not really trying to go into hypnosis, we can do that too. You don't have to exactly be in a hypnotic state for us to do the channeling and get some information for you. And that's about all I have. So I hope you guys have a good week. We have the full moon coming up on Sunday, so definitely some of that energy. It's actually going to be in Leo. So Leo's a good time. Leo's that good sign for me, even though I don't have anything in Leo in my chart. But yeah, so the full moon's going to be on Leo on Sunday. So definitely kind of get your preparations for that. Other than that, have a great week, and I will talk to you guys soon, and look forward to some of events coming up, and I'll be sending out some invitations and getting the word out there for those. So have an awesome week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.